welcome to another episode of the Grey Nomad Knits. It's Saturday morning here, no idea what the date is. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. I think spring is on its way. It's going to be 20 degrees today, but there is still definitely a cool morning nip in the air. So I'm rugged up in my lovely What the Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry, and I'm feeling nice and warm and cozy. It's been a little while since I last podcasted because we've had a death in the family. I think, as you all know, my mother-in-law was very, very ill when I last podcasted, and she did pass away just a few days after. She was a lovely lady and she's going to be dreadfully missed, but dementia is a dreadful illness, and we're very happy now that she is at peace and back with her beloved Ian. So we had that and the funeral, and then we went away for a week in our caravan for some much needed R&R, and we've come back feeling refreshed and ready to tackle life again. I just want to thank all of you for watching, and also for any new people who have found me on YouTube. Big thank you, and I hope you get some enjoyment out of my show and enjoy some of the projects that I've been working on. I need my glasses on because I'm as blind as a bat without them. You can find me on Ravelry as JillyMG, or on Instagram as JillyMG60. So I will put that in across the screen here, and yeah, so feel free to contact me there if you wish. Okay, I'm going to show you a finished object. I think I said to you before that I was making this scarf for a lady who has purchased it, and she did actually purchase a scarf off me some time ago, but she was away on holidays and she misplaced it, and she was dreadfully upset, so she asked me if I could make her another one. She wanted a pale silvery grey. So this is the yarn I used, which is Exquisite yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners. And here it's all blocked, washed, blocked, ends all tied in. I'm just going to unravel it for you. That's one of the borders on this edge. Just going to unravel it for you. It's quite long. She likes them quite long. This pattern was a delight. It's a Nancy Bush pattern out of her Knitted Lace of Estonia book, and I just really enjoyed it. It wasn't difficult. When you were doing the nups, you had to remember to keep the yarn very, very loose, and they didn't really look that fantastic until I blocked it. And here we are at the other end with the other border. So she'll be in Perth in the next couple of weeks to pick it up. I don't know how the colour's showing up on screen, but it's a very pale silvery grey. The colourway is actually called, I think it's Florence. It's actually torn off the label when I opened it, but I'm pretty sure it's Florence. So that's the Lily of the Valley scarf by Nancy Bush. All done, finished, blocked. Every end is, not that there were many ends, but they're all done and sewn in. I don't have finished objects very often on this podcast, so when I do, I like to wave them around in front of you for quite some time. Look at the drape on this. It's absolutely exquisite. The exquisite yarn is exquisite. Okay. Put that away. So we went away in our caravan just for a week to a lovely little place just northeast of Perth called 2J. And from where we live, it's only actually about an hour and 15 minutes drive. It took us a bit longer because we were towing the van, but we had a really nice time. My husband took great joy in feeding all the local birds that came in. We stayed in a caravan park where we had on-site power, the use of on-site power and water, which was fabulous. And this caravan park's beautiful because it's got all bushy pockets all through it, so you feel like you're actually out in the Australian bush. My sister and her husband also joined us for the weekend in their caravan, Theirs is twice the size of ours, so it's a bit like mother and embryo. But we had a really nice time together, and it was also Father's Day, so we also had a lovely lunch out. I got lots of knitting done. I really enjoyed the peace and quiet and just taking the time out to sit and reflect on things and to not be rushing around with the busy hustle and bustle of living in the city. So I'm going to show you a little tour of our caravan here. I thought I'd give you a bit of a tour of our van. Here she is. That sun is deceptive because it has been pouring with rain. I'm just going to take you inside to our little paradise on wheels. And I have got dinner cooking, so I've just got to shut that door so the flies don't come in. Okay, so here we are. Here's our little kitchen. Dinner is cooking in this dream pot, which acts like a giant thermos. So I cook it on the stove here and then transfer it into there where it finishes the cooking process, and that will all be ready for our dinner tonight. So under here we have a little hot plate and a grill and a microwave, the obligatory TV for hubby's movie watching, and then over here is, oh, there's our fridge. We upgraded to a bigger fridge, which is very, very nice. Can fit lots of stuff in there. A little pantry cupboard here, and then the bedroom. That's my cottage ripple blanket from Attic 24. And then we've got the windows open because it is quite pleasant when you're out of the cold breeze. Have a bit of fresh air. So got lots of storage up there, and then when we're ready to pack up to go home, this whole roof comes down and it clips on for travelling. It's much easier than towing a full height van. And here's our nice dining area. As you can see, I'm currently working on my Catherine Howard. And I have another project in there, that's my Victoria. So there you go, that's a little tour of our van. It's got lots of lovely windows. You can see we're looking out into the bush. This is a lovely caravan park full of bush. And we're certainly enjoying it. And I'm just going to show you some video here of my husband feeding all the local birds. In Australia, we call, I don't know what the real name of them, they're parrots, I think. And in Perth, we call them 28 parrots. I've got no idea why, but that's what we call them.
Okay, come on, come on.
Let other bitches scaring them away.
Yeah. Say your finger with you. Hey, that's naughty.
It's his naughty. When it comes to it. Get away from it. Because
That's the bossy one.
Well,
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of projects I've been working on, not all of them, but just some. I think I forgot to show you these last time. These are some socks that I was working on when we went to Tasmania. Just can't quite remember what the yarn name is. Oh yes, I have got the label here. I'm going to put it on. It's an Opal yarn, and it is one of the Claude Monet range. And of course it's written, I think, in German. so I can't read it, but the colourway is 9687. I'm sure some of you can read that. I could put it into Google Translate, but hey, I don't need to. It's knitting up beautifully. I've got one sock. Oh, and I'm using this one, which is a Wendy's Rome, I think, for the contrasting socks and heels. There's one sock all finished, and how nicely does this knit up? I just do the umbrella toe, and I think I did 62 rows, 20 rows here for the ribbing, 62 rows for the leg, and I think it's about 55 I do for the foot because I only have a short foot. I like to do a heel flap and gusset. I find that fits my foot a lot better because I have a pretty high instep. And I take my heel flap and gusset instructions and my toe instructions from Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. So there you can see the increases for the gusset. And the other side, and she has a lovely tutorial that shows you how not to get any holes in the little points there. If I put my hand in and show you, there's no holes. None on that side either. So I'm very happy with that. I'm really pleased with how they're working up. I'm just about, I think, up to doing the heel flap on the other one. But I've been flat out working on the scarf to get it finished. So everything else has taken a bit of a back seat at the moment. So that's my Opal socks. Just dropping everything here. The next thing I want to show you is my other lace project, and I want to show you this because it's almost finished. In fact, if I had podcasted tomorrow instead of today, it would have been done. Whoops, oh no, I just pulled off some of my lacy stitches. Bear with me while I pick them up. Okay, that was almost a disaster. I tell you, when you lose stitches with this lace, it's very hard to correct. I've picked them up, but not quite correctly, so I'll fix that later. But I am in the process of casting off. So that's around one corner, and I think this is the, gosh, I can't see a thing without these on. I want to show you the correct side. Yep, this is the correct side. When you cast off with this, you have to do a double strand of yarn. So I've got 2 balls going, and I think that just gives a little bit more weight to the finished edge. Look at that border, it's so beautiful. And then you've got this lovely corner. And I've also done the smaller border. Cast it off, I mean. So this afternoon, while I'm watching the footy finals on TV, I'm going to finish this side, getting it cast off, and then finish the last side. And then tomorrow I'll be able to get it washed and soaked in the morning and then block it. It's beautiful sunny weather here for the next few days, so I shouldn't have any trouble getting it dry. And it will be finished. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or gift it to someone, but we shall see. It doesn't actually look all that big at the moment, and I'm a bit worried, but I think when it's all soaked and blocked out, it will really, really grow. So that's the, oh, my shawl's falling off, just bear with me. That's the Queen Silvia wrap by Nancy Bush. The same one that designed the scarf that I made. Her patterns are absolutely beautiful. They're a bit tricky, and I would suggest if you're not used to knitting lace that you, at the end of every pattern row repeat, you put in a lifeline. I did for the first pattern repeat, and then I was fine after that. It became quite intuitive, and you could actually see within each little pattern section if you were making a mistake. So it was very easy to then just correct that before you finish the row. Now the next thing I want to show you is in this beautiful bag I bought from Tasmania, from Port Arthur Lavender Farm. How lovely is that? It's a beautiful hessian, but it's got a lovely lining in it, so none of the hessian catches on your knitting. I'm going to show you the progress on my Harvest cardigan. As I said, I haven't done a huge amount since my last podcast because I was doing the scarf. But I'm really happy with this, how it's turning out. It's a bit hard to show. I'll show you like this, I think. So this is the collar. Look at the light shining on those colours. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is all a cardigan, but it's all knit in one piece. So I won't be long before I have to separate for the sleeves. So there's the raglan there. So this is a sleeve popping out here. This is the Harvest cardigan by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I just love how the colours are really showing up in that today. Normally when I've shown it before, they haven't shown anywhere near as well as that. That's because it's a lovely bright day outside. In fact, it's probably a bit darker than what it's showing on the screen. So this yarn, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'll find out and put it on the screen, is the Signature Aran yarn by Fleece and Harmony. And I can't for the life of me. Just a moment, I think I've got a label here. Yes, Fleece and Harmony. It's the Signature Aran in the Fiddlehead colourway. So this is Fleece and Harmony's label. And this tells you there which colour it is. And I'm enjoying this project so much. Their yarns are absolutely delightful to work with, and I will definitely be ordering some more. I don't normally knit anything thicker than a DK weight here in Perth because we don't get that cold, but sometimes it is cold, especially if you're going out for a walk in the morning. So I think this will be lovely, and now that we're both retired, we want to go midweek sometimes in the winter, perhaps out into the bush for a nice barbecue or something, and you do need something warm. So this is going to be beautiful. Oh, I love it so much. This is a lovely relaxing knit. It's just all stocking stitch and then the garter stitch border. But I think the way Catherine Howard's been going and all the lace work, it's really nice to have something not too taxing on the brain to work with. So I'm really enjoying that one. Oh, it feels beautiful. There's no scratchiness to the wool. It's just divine. I love it so much. Can't speak high, and their customer service too is wonderful. They're on I think it's at King Edward Island off the oh, my geography's terrible. I think it's off the east coast of Canada. But as I said, my geography's terrible, so I've probably got it totally wrong. Who knows anything about geography? Okay, and the last thing I'm going to show you is, I'm quite proud of this cast on because I promised myself when I lost 5 kilos, yay, I was going to have a new cast on. And I've had this yarn in my stash for about 2 years and I love it. I'm going to show you the yarn first. Look at that. Now this is actually Tasmanian. It's like a gradient. It's Tasmanian white gum wool, but it's been dyed by a dyer called, and of course I haven't got the tags here. Ah, yes I have. Nunabar Artisan Yarns. Now I've had a look on their Etsy page and they seem to be having a break at the moment, but I picked this up at Skein Sisters in Sydney, and what I love about it is it's not only the gradient, but they also had other yarn to match the outside of the gradient. So as I work my way, it's a top-down jumper. As I work my way down, it's starting with the cream section. And as I work my down into the grey, I can then continue with this grey, which is almost identical. And I will alternate the skeins to start with when I switch to this one. But then I've only got 2 balls of this, so I'm alternating them all the way around the body. And then, as I said, when they run out, I'll go on to this. But I didn't know what to do with the sleeves. Oh, and I haven't brought it through to show you, but I remembered I had some white gum wool that I bought when I was in Tasmania in just the plain natural colour. And this is mostly this is the beginning of those gradient skeins. Or apart from these little flecks of grey, it is mostly the natural. So I rang the store in Tasmania to see if they could send me some more of the plain, which they did. So when I divide for the sleeves, I'll then on the sleeves alternate some of this into the plain natural, so that that should look quite nice, I think. Now the pattern I'm doing, and Fruity Knitting is having a knit along at the moment, which is running I think till the end of November, for I think it's Jennifer, oh this is terrible, I should have written it down. Jennifer Wood. Now I'm not sure if it's Wood or Woods, but she's from Woodhouse Knits. So I searched her patterns on Ravelry and found this one. You had to actually purchase it through Interweave. I think it's Interweave. Should say on here. Anyway, it's called the Victoria. And look at this. You see that? It's got that lovely lace V on the front. It's also the same on the back. And then it's got a nice lace detail around the band and on the sleeves. The only difference is I'm going to do long sleeves because I find 3/4 sleeves kind of annoy me. I find they're either too hot for our summer and they're not warm enough for our winter. So this is what I've done so far. So I'm still very much on the creamy section, and it's a bit hard to show you because it's all squashed up onto my needles. So this is the V in progress. I started it on a smaller needle because I didn't want it to gape, and if it is a bit loose and gapy, what I might do is go back later and just put a couple of little tucks or something in to bring it back in. So that's the either the front or the back, they're both the same. And there's the other V on the other side. And then in the middle we've got the sleeves, and there's this lovely lace panel. What is it with me and lace lately? This lovely lace panel coming down. I think there's just enough of that grey fleck in there to give interest without taking away from the lace. I don't think the grey section of the gradient yarn will start coming in until I've finished all the lace, and it's very, very gradual and subtle, so I think it's going to be really nice. Now I cannot tell you how soft this yarn is. If you ever have a chance of buying white gum wool from Tasmania, here we go, white gum wool, and it's actually by Nomad Yarns, but even if she's not dyeing anymore, you can still purchase white gum wool from the Tasmanian Wool Centre or directly, I think, from the White Gum website. So this is just the most luxury yarn. I think it's almost my favourite yarn now, apart from Fleece and Harmony, apart from all the others I love. Oh, how can you have so many favourites? They're all favourites. It's a fingering weight, but it's really plump, and I think it's going to wash up beautifully. And this will be coming on our European holiday next year, although we're going in summer. We are going up to Scotland, so we may need something a little with a bit more warmth in it there. This is the raglan increases you can see here. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yeah, so I can't, oh, actually I have got one of the plain colours up here. I'll just get it and show you. So if you're buying white gum wool, here's the plain. So I think that's going to fit in really, really well with the sleeves. That's how it looks when you buy it directly from the company. So this must be the base, I think, that Nomad Yarns used to dye those gradient yarns. It's just the most beautiful. If you have a look at a previous episode of Fruity Knitting, I'm not sure which one it was, but they featured white gum wool on there, and you can learn all about their farm in Tasmania and how they came to have the sheep farm. Doesn't matter how many times I do this, I still feel I'm getting tongue-tied and nervous. I watch other podcasts and they seem so natural and professional, and I seem to get on here and I think, oh my God, what did I say that for, or whatever. So if I appear nervous at times, please forgive me, but that's because I am nervous. So I think that's about it for today. I'm looking forward to sitting down and finishing that shawl this afternoon and then getting back into all my other projects. So when I come back to you in 2 or 3 weeks' time, I should have a bit more to show you. We're going away for another week in our caravan, probably in October. We've got some friends who are building a holiday house down at a place called Denmark. So it's not Denmark in Europe, it's Denmark in Western Australia. It's a very picturesque little town on the southwest coast. And my husband has been helping his friend build this house. So they're going down to have a building week, and we're going to take our caravan so I can go down as well and have a bit of a holiday. So they've got that to look forward to. And then next term, the next school term here, the last term of the year, I'm actually going to be working a couple of days in the library at one of our local schools, just for the term. So that will be nice, bit of yarn money coming in. So I should still get plenty of knitting time though. I'm only going to be working Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Being back in the workforce will be quite nice just for a couple of months. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Happy knitting. Bye.